Think you've seen every great sci-fi film? Think again. This video uncovers mind-blowing yet underrated sci-fi gems that flew under most radars. From dark dystopias to chilling experiments and existential mind games, these films will stick with you long after the credits roll. Let's dive into the hidden side of the sci-fi. Radius. Imagine waking up after a car accident and not remembering who you are or what happened. In the 2017 film Radius, this is exactly what happens to the main character. When he tries to return to civilization, he discovers something terrifying. Anyone who comes within a few meters of him dies instantly. People's bodies fall without a trace of violence, as if something invisible took their lives. The man, confused and terrified, begins to avoid contact with people. Everything changes when he meets a woman who also has no memory of his past, but her presence neutralizes the deadly effect. Together, they try to discover what happened to them, who they are, and where the strange power came from. Radius is an intense science fiction thriller with mystery elements that makes you think about identity, fate, and the limits of human action. Advantageous. In the not-too-distant future, the world in the movie Advantageous looks seemingly peaceful, but there is something disturbing hiding under the surface. Society is based on perfect looks, youth, and high status, and women are particularly vulnerable to exclusion if they don't meet these standards. The main character, Gwen, loses her job at a prestigious company, and her only goal becomes to secure a better future for her daughter. When a chance to take part in an experimental procedure to transfer consciousness to a younger body presents itself, Gwen must make a dramatic decision. The film focuses not on special effects, but on emotions, relationships, and questions. How much are we willing to sacrifice for our children, and what really defines us as human beings? Advantageous is a quiet but powerful sci-fi that deals with identity, sacrifice, and social pressures. Kill Command. In the near future, military technology is out of control. Kill Command is a British sci-fi thriller in which an elite unit of soldiers is sent on a seemingly routine training mission to an isolated island. They are accompanied by Mills, a female cyborg, half-human, half-machine, artificial intelligence specialist. It quickly becomes apparent that the purpose of the exercise is not training, but survival. Autonomous combat robots, which were only supposed to simulate a threat, begin to act on their own. Soldiers are cut off, pursued, and eliminated one by one. Kill Command is a raw, intense film about technology that stops listening to orders and starts learning on its own. It's a combination of military sci-fi, survival horror, and a brutal battle between man and machine. Antimatter. What if you entered a machine and came back as someone else? Antimatter is an intriguing sci-fi thriller that begins with a great discovery. Anna, a brilliant Oxford student, invents a way to teleport. The experiment goes successfully. The girl disappears and reappears. But something is wrong. Anna begins to lose her memory, does not recognize loved ones, and an atmosphere of paranoia begins to thicken around her. Soon she must answer the question, is it her who has returned from the other side, or something else? Antimatter is a dark and disturbing story about the limits of science, identity, and trust in one's own mind. Ares. Paris, the near future. The state has collapsed, society is controlled by corporations, and the streets are drowning in lawlessness and poverty. Ares is a brutal dystopian sci-fi thriller in which the main character is Rita, a former soldier, now an illegal fighter. When his sister is jailed and his two little nieces are left unattended, Rita decides to take a desperate step. He takes part in an experiment with a new combat drug. In exchange for money and the promise of his sister's release, he becomes a guinea pig in the hands of ruthless corporations. But when the side effects prove more dangerous than he thought, Rita must choose whether to fight for survival or against the system that created him. Ares presents a grim vision of the future, where human beings are mere commodities and violence is the only way to freedom. That's the end of today's list. Which movie surprised you the most, or which one do you think deserves to be here? Drop a comment below. And if you're hungry for more sci-fi hidden gems, subscribe and hit the bell. We've got more coming your way.